Hello and welcome, friends. Today I am going to analyze the analysis of covariance, that is known as ANCOVA, with some the basic assumptions. So rather, I can say in this way the basic assumptions of ANCOVA. What are the assumptions and how can we test the assumptions by using SPSS software? Now, the assumptions are like this: the observations should be independent, the dependent variable and covariate variable should be measured on a continuous scale or interval scale. So, if I go again, okay. Now, the independent variable or factors should consist of two or more categorical independent group. The values of dependent variable are normally distributed for each level of independent variable. There should not be any outlier in the values of the dependent variable. There should be linear relationship between covariate and the dependent variable for each level of independent variable. In case of two covariates, they should not be highly related. That means there is no question of multicollinearity. Then homogeneity of regression slopes, which implies there should be no interaction between the covariate and the independent variable. The homogeneity of variances among the group of independent variable. So these are the assumptions behind the applications of ANCOVA. Now, the structure of ANCOVA, as it is already explained in last video, structure of ANCOVA actually it is divided into three parts. One is independent variable, covariate, and dependent variable. So in the independent variable, there is only one independent variable or factor, that is teaching method. And the teaching method, the three classifications are there in the teaching method. One group of teachers who are not coming to the class, or coming to the class once in a blue moon at the beginning of the semester and before the exam, just to provide the study material. And another group of teachers who are taking class regularly but without taking any sophisticated tools or techniques, only chalk and talk policy. And the third group of teachers, they provide the teaching by using sophisticated, all the sophisticated or new techniques or technologies, and side by side study material also. And the dependent variable, in this video we have taken the marks obtained in semester 2 exam, because we have selected some students of semester 3, so they have the result of semester 2 and we can able to get the marks obtained in semester 3 exams. And we have taken covariate, which measures the general or basic level of intelligence, and this intelligence can be measured in terms of internal assessment. Internal assessment means throughout the class performance throughout the semester. On the basis of their class performance, the teacher can able to give, assign some marks, or it may be on the basis of group discussion, etc, etc. Now, the question is, if we include this basic level of intelligence into the analysis of ANOVA, then it becomes ANCOVA. If we do not consider this covariate, this is simple ANOVA. That means the value of the dependent variable, does there exist any mean difference among the three groups of students trained by different treatment, that means different teaching methods, and does there exist any difference in marks. So this is the ANOVA, simple one way ANOVA, because one independent variable is there, teaching methods, and we are going to examine, does there exist any mean difference among the marks of three groups of students, where the treatment is giving differently. That means three different types of teaching. But if we consider, if we control the general level of intelligence, if we control the general level or basic level of intelligence of the students, then it provides the same thing, that means ANOVA, by controlling the basic level of intelligence, so that we can get a better picture whether the dependence or whether the variability of the marks obtained in semester 2, okay, to what extent this variation is responsible for the variation in teaching methods, or for the treatment, for the difference in treatment, okay, controlling the effect of basic level of intelligence. So here lies the difference between ANCOVA and ANOVA, one way ANOVA. Similarly, if we include one more independent variable, maybe it is gender, it becomes two-way ANOVA, because now we are considering the difference in mean marks obtained by the three different groups of students, the groups in the sense group in by providing different types of teaching methods, and side by side the another difference in gender, male students, female students, then we are having the two-way ANOVA. Similarly, if we include two-way ANOVA with covariate, it becomes two-way ANCOVA, analysis of covariance two-way. Now we are giving one hypothetical data. Okay, so these are the three groups: group A, group B, and group C, and we have selected randomly selected 12 students. Okay, and 12 students are divided into three groups, so each group contains four students. Now each group is being trained by different group of teachers. So group 1, that means it is given group A, we have quantified the treatment as 1, group B quantified as treatment 2, and group C as teaching method by 3. 3 means third level of teaching method by sophisticated technology. This is chalk and talk policy. This is only providing study material. And another independent variable, that is gender, 1 for male students, 0 for female students. The basic level of intelligence is reflected by the internal marks. Out of 10 they got the internal marks. These 12 students got internal marks out of 10 marks, and this is the marks obtained in semester 2 out of 50, the marks obtained in semester 2. Though semester 3 is given, but we are not considering semester 3 marks, because we are taking only one dependent variable. So whenever we use MANOVA or MANCOVA, then we can use the two dependent variable, because we know ANOVA as well as ANCOVA is generally we have one dependent variable. So if we consider one independent variable, it becomes one-way ANOVA. If we consider ANOVA one independent variable and intelligence that is covariate, it becomes one-way ANCOVA. If we use two independent variable and without taking covariate, it becomes two-way ANOVA. If we control the influence of basic level of intelligence on the marks, then it becomes two-way ANCOVA. Similarly, if we consider another dependent variable, another dependent variable with one independent variable, it means one-way MANOVA without considering this covariate. If we consider the two independent variable as well as covariate and two dependent variable, it becomes two-way multivariate analysis of variance. So in this way we can provide the basic knowledge behind the application of ANCOVA, that means one-way or two-way ANCOVA, or one-way or two-way MANCOVA, that means multivariate analysis of variance. Two independent variable, that means teaching method and gender with intelligence, and two dependent variable, it becomes two-way MANCOVA. So if we do not include this, other things remaining same, it is two-way MANOVA. But whenever we include the covariate, it becomes two-way MANCOVA, multivariate analysis of covariance. If there is only one dependent variable with covariate and one independent variable, it becomes one-way ANOVA. But whenever we include the covariate, it becomes one-way ANCOVA. Two independent variable, covariate, two-way ANCOVA. So in this way we can analyze ANOVA, ANCOVA, one-way, two-way. Similarly MANOVA, MANCOVA, one-way, two-way. Now we want to export this data into SPSS software, and how it looks like this. After importing data from Excel file to the software, it looks like this. Now we have to prove our hypothesis one by one. The observation should be independent. The dependent variable and covariate variable should be measured on continuous scale. We have already measured in continuous scale this one. The covariate variable, that is intelligence, is measured continuous scale, and the dependent variable, that is marks obtained in semester 2, is continuous scale. So it is fulfilled assumptions. And independent variable or factors should consist of two or more categorical independent groups. So according to our variable view, the teaching method independent variable, this is classified to 1, 2, 3. That means 3 criteria are there. no classes taken, chalk and talk policy, using sophisticated tools, as I already told. Okay, another is the values of the dependent variable are normally distributed for each level of independent variable. Now we have to test that the values of the dependent variable are normally distributed for each level of independent. How should we proceed? Okay, go to analyze. Okay, go to descriptive statistics, go to explore. Now dependent variable list is marks obtained in semester 2. Okay, factor list, factor means teaching method, factor list. And statistics, outlier. Okay, plots, we don't need stem leaf, we can plot this histogram as well as normality plot. Continue. Okay, options not needed to change. Okay, click OK. Now SPSS provides the results, that is this is a case processing summary with 0 missing values, and the descriptive statistics with each level of independent variable. No class taken, chalk and talk, the using sophisticated tools, the basic level of statistics are given, and this is extreme values, this is tests of normality. So we can use this test, Shapiro and Wilk, that means all are not significant. This means we have satisfied the normality assumptions. So normality of the dependent variable at each level of independent variable. Okay, it satisfies. Similarly, the histogram is not proper way, we cannot get right way to get normality because of very low very less amount of sample size. Anyway, these are the QQ plot also showing deviations from the straight line, deviations from normality, and the QQ plot. Similarly, this box plot shows that there is no point or observations which is above this upper boundary or which is below this lower boundary. This shows that there is no outlier present in the value of the dependent variable with respect to each category of the independent variable. In this way, we can prove that this assumption is satisfied, normality assumption, and there is no outlier in the dependent variable is satisfied. Now, there should be linear relationship between the covariate variable and the dependent variable for each level of independent. That this we have to prove, we have to test. So for testing this, go to graphs, go to legacy dialog, go to scatter plot, and take the matrix scatter. Define the matrix variables are intelligency and the marks obtained in semester 2, and the rows are teaching method, in the rows teaching method. Okay, click OK. Okay, so it shows more or less from left hand corner to right hand corner. In other words, we can show the pattern of linearity in this way also. Linearity may be shown in this way also. Okay, in this way also. So this shows that the covariate and dependent variable at each level of independent variable, there is linearity is there. So covariate variable and the dependent variable, for whatever it may be, we can consider this side or this side, any one side. So linear, more or less linear pattern or linearity exists, is seen with respect to marks obtained in semester 2. That means the value of the dependent variable and the value of the covariate variable. Okay, intelligency at each level of independent variable. Now what we are going to see, the homogeneity of regression slopes, which implies that there should be no interaction between the covariate and the independent variable. For testing this, what we have to do, we have to go through analyze, We have to go to general linear model, univariate, go to univariate. The dependent variable, go to dependent variable, marks of semester 2. Fixed factor, teaching method is the fixed factor. We don't have a random factor. Covariate is the intelligency. Okay. The options are homogeneity tests, descriptive statistics, estimates of effect size, continue, display means for teaching method, continue. For savings, we don't need to change anything, continue. For save, for plot, we can plot teaching method as horizontal axis, okay, add, continue. And for contrast, okay, none. For model, here the most important change is for model. From full factorial model we have to see here customs, and for model here we have to take the teaching method and intelligency as interaction, okay, continue and click OK. The result shows the most important result is like this: descriptive statistics, Leven's test of equality of error variance, here teaching method and intelligency, test between subjects effect. So teaching method and intelligency, this is significant, this value is significant. That means this data violates the assumptions. That means homogeneity of regression line, which implies there should be no interaction between covariate variable and independent variable. But our result is showing that there is significant interaction between teaching method and covariate and independent variable, that is teaching method and covariate variable. So we should be very careful about the violation of this assumption. So since this is totally hypothetical data, we have nothing to do, but the main thing is how to interpret this result. So if you got this type of significant result, it implies that the data is violating the important one of the important assumption. It should be more than 0.05. This value should be, to satisfy this assumption, it should be more than 0.5. Now coming to our last assumption, that means homogeneity of variances among the group of independent variable. To prove this one, what we have to do, we have to change the model, analyze general linear model, univariate, and other things remaining unchanged more or less. Model from customs to full factorial, okay, continue. Other things, contrasts, nothing, continue. Other things remain as it is, plots, continue, save, okay, click OK. So we are getting the results. That means this is factorial model, the Leven's tests of equality of error variance, okay, this is 0.440. that means we are going to take the null hypothesis that the error variance of the dependent variable is equal across groups. That means this is hypothesis is accepted, okay. So the assumption homogeneity of variances among the group of independent variable, this is accepted, okay. Equal across groups, this is accepted. So we have satisfied or this data satisfied the last assumption, okay. Now between subject effects, we are observing that teaching method is highly significant. Teaching method is highly significant. That means this is the result of ANCOVA. This is the result of estimated value of ANCOVA. That means this shows the teaching method is significant. The partial eta square is 0.774. Partial eta square is 0.774. This means that if we consider the if we control the intelligence level of intelligence, and then the variability of the dependent variable with respect to the different treatment or variability of the independent factors is significant. But if we do not consider the covariate, that is intelligence, or if we do not control the basic level of intelligence, how teaching method is affecting the differences in the mean marks in three different groups. Just to check this one, what we have to do, go to analyze, go to general linear model, univariate. Instead of covariate here, intelligence, we are ignoring this one. The remaining thing as same model only, we can plot this post hoc teaching method. Okay, only Bonferroni because of very small amount of sample size. Okay, now click OK. What we are getting, the result is like this. Now there is no covariate. Look, one thing, teaching method is not significant. So if we do not control the basic level of intelligence, okay, this is simple ANOVA result, one-way ANOVA result. It shows if we do not control the basic level of intelligence, the differences in mean marks due to different treatments is not significant. That means whatever may be the way of teaching, it does not matter, or it satisfies the assumptions, that is mu0 equals to mu0, mu1 equals to mu1, like this. So there is no difference in the marks obtained due to the differences in treatment or teaching methods. Okay, so the ANOVA result provides some absurd figure. Even partial eta square also shows 0.385. That means 38.5% variability of the result of the marks is explained by the teaching method if we do not control the basic level of intelligence. So whatever may be the teaching method, due to applying their basic level of intelligence, they are getting good marks, more marks or higher marks. But if we control the basic level of intelligence, what we are getting as a basic level of intelligence, teaching method plays an important role because this is significant, and 77.4% variability of marks is explained by the differences in teaching method. So here lies the difference in explanation of ANOVA and ANCOVA. Similarly, this is the estimated marginal mean of marks. No class taken is less marks, average marks. Similarly, chalk and talk is higher marks compared to no group of teachers who are not taking class, only providing the material. Similarly, average marks for the students or for those group which is trained or taught by the group of teachers using sophisticated tools, techniques, everything, their mean marks are much more higher than the other two. In this way, we can explain the one-way analysis of covariance. And regarding multiple comparison, here this difference multiple comparison is, I think that this comparison is not showing any significant because of very low amount of, very minimum amount of, or small amount of sample size, whatever it may be. This is profile plot, mean marks of semester 2, no class taken, chalk and talk. This is for ANOVA result, perhaps. This is ANOVA result. Okay, without considering the basic level of intelligence. No difference in teaching methods, whatever may be the teaching method, because they got marks by using their basic level of intelligence. That is why there is no difference. Whatever may be the teaching method, look, there is no difference. No class taken and chalk and talk. No class taken and sophisticated technique. The difference is not significant. Not significant. Okay. Not significant. So in this way, we can explain the ANOVA and ANCOVA. So thank you for this for listening this video. In the next, I'm trying to show the MANOVA and MANCOVA using this type of example. So that's all. Thank you.